The third drive characteristic, so this is the third one, is having multicellular gametangia. So again, gamete, that gives you an indication of having female gametes, the eggs, and male gametes, the sperms. They are developed in organs characterized by being multicellular. These organs, we call them gametangia. The female organs, or the female gamete producing organs, we call them archegonia. So as you can see here, this is the archegonia. So the archegonia is a multicellular organ that produces the eggs. This is number one. And number two, it is also the site of fertilization. So it produces the eggs, and two, it is the site of the fertilization. So the fertilization will take place in the archegonia. The second gamete producing organ is the antheridia. The antheridia is the male gametangia, or the male gamete producing organ, and again it is a multicellular organ that produces the sperm, and then it releases these sperms. So the sperms will be released, the sperm will move into the archegonium where the fertilization will happen. So let's put all the terms together. I know there are a lot of terms, so let's think of them together and put them in one slide to make it much easier. So we have sporophyte. Remember, sporophyte is one of the two stages. Remember, we have alteration of stages. So sporophyte is a stage. It includes many organs. If you go back to this slide, this is the sporophyte. The sporophyte includes many organs. One of these organs is the sporangia. So it is a big litter. If we think about the different terms, sporophyte, sporangia, and spore, we can say that sporophyte is bigger than sporangia because sporangia is just an organ within the sporophyte stage. So sporophyte is bigger than the sporangia, which is bigger than the spores. Sporophyte is a stage. It includes many organs. Sporangia is just an organ within the sporophyte, and spores are the structure that are present within the sporangia. That's the reason for this order. So what is a sporophyte? It is a stage. It is a multicellular stage, and it is a diploid structure. Then the sporophyte contains organs. One of it is the sporangia. So sporangia is an organ. Again, it is a multicellular organ, and it is a diploid structure. What is produced inside the sporangia? Spores are produced inside the sporangia. So it is the least in terms of like the size, and the spores are haploid. So you may be wondering how a diploid organism or structure like that gives a haploid spores, because this will happen through meiosis, which reduces the number of the chromosomes. And if you don't remember that, please go back to the figure and you'll find that sporophyte are diploid and they produce the spores, which is haploid, and this is due to the reduction of the number of chromosomes by meiosis. Okay, so this is the first stage, and as we said, plants, the cycle of the plants goes into two stages. The second stage is the gametophyte. So gametophyte is a stage, so it includes many organs. One of these organs is the gametangia. So gametangia is an organ within the stage of gametophyte, and then within the gametangia the plant produces the gametes. So that's the reason for this order. Then if we think about gametophyte and gametangia and gametes, everything related to the gametes is going to be a haploid. So gametophyte is a multicellular structure. Remember, both stages are multicellular, whether it's sporophyte or gametophyte. So haploid multicellular structure. Then the gametangia is going to be again haploid multicellular, but this is an organ. It is not a stage. It is not a stage like this one. So this is multicellular stage that includes many organs. The gametangia is just an organ within the gametophyte stage. And then we have the gametes, which is a haploid unicellular structure. This gamete could be produced in the archegonia. So the archegonia produces the female gametes, which is the eggs, or these gametes can be produced in the antheridia. So antheridia produces the male gametes, which is the sperm. So gametes are unicellular, while the gametangia is a multicellular. So if you go back to this figure, so this is an egg, this is a unicellular, this is an egg, again unicellular, and so on. But the archegonium itself, which includes many cells, is a multicellular structure. The same for the antheridia. So individual sperms are unicellular. Then the antheridia itself is a multicellular structure. Remember, multicellular gametangia. So each one of these gametangia is a multicellular, and also, as we said, each of the stages is going to be a multicellular stage. The fourth derived trait is the presence of apical meristems. So land plants have apical meristems, which is not seen in the ancestor algae. So what is apical meristem? So they are areas that allow continual growth for the plant, and the cells in this apical meristem differentiate into various tissues. So as you can see here, if you remember, we said that plants need to grow in two directions. So at the tip of this area and at the tip of this area, if we zoom in, we'll find the apical meristem. So here is the apical meristem of the shoot. Then here is the apical meristem of the root. So they are areas of localized cell division. So areas of localized or continual cell division that allows the plant to elongate, and this elongation will take place in this direction if we consider the apical meristem of the shoot, and in this direction if we consider the apical meristem of the root. So these are the four derived traits, and by this we have come to the end of the first video, in which we have covered the diversity of plants, the evolution of plants, and how they have colonized land, and what were the challenges that they have to deal with, and how they evolved adaptation mechanisms to overcome these challenges. We have came also across the similarities between the green algae and land plants, and because of these similarities, scientists believe that the green algae is the most close ancestor to land plants. Then we highlighted four derived traits that they are present only in land plants, but they are absent in the green algae. Thank you so much, and wishing you all the best.